Hello everyone, I welcome you all to today's episode. In today's session, we are going to see two simple syntaxes called as for and value, which are very critical when dealing with internal tables. So the value and for operations are very critical and very resourceful when it is being used upon internal tables. They increase the efficiency of working with the internal tables. So these are the two syntaxes that we will be discussing today, and without wasting any time further, let's get on to the demo. So as always, I have written a small demo program. So first I'll be explaining the value syntax. So the initial requirement is appending three set of entries, or in other words, adding three set of entries to an internal table. So our traditional method is pass the values into the work area and then append it to the internal table using the append statement. This with value operation is executed in a single line. So all these 6 lines of code is now simplified into the single line. Now, considering three entries, the efficiency may not look that obvious, but imagine when you have to enter a larger number of entries, this single line of execution will be really helpful and efficient, and the program will remain in the most optimized manner. Now moving on, for the for syntax, the requirement is simple, passing on an entry from one table into another table. Usually we used to loop on the source table and then pass the values to the work areas, and we append the work area into the target table. So the number of entries on the source table will be the number of iterations the loop runs. So that's our traditional approach. So I have written a simple logic here so that just to explain the case to case difference between these two statements. So in case of for statement, as I told before, the loop iteration runs the same number of times the number of entries present in the parent table or the source table. But in case of the modern syntax where we use the for value, it's pretty simple. It's just a one line execution again, wherein the syntaxes that are declared, that are declared in between are key. So if you follow closely, this data lt underscore for is an inline declaration. Value, this ty underscore for is declared here, wherein is declared as a standard table type with an empty key. For is the syntax used here, and ls underscore for is an again inline declaration, and this lt underscore tab is the source table from which we want to pass on the value, and this ls underscore for is again the internal work area that we have declared here. Here either we can mention this, or also we can mention with the field name, so that the direct field to field mapping occurs. So let me, as always, let me explain this using now debugging mode. Let me execute this for now. So this is our traditional method where I'm appending each entry into the work area. You see the 6 lines of code has executed to append 3 entries into this table. Now let's look at this tab new, wherein I'm using the value operator here. In a single execution, all 3 entries got added, right? Now let's move on to the next for example, wherein the loop keeps on adding entries into this. So there are three number of entries. So the loop runs thrice and the entries gets appended into this tab new one. So the iteration for the loop is 3 and it added 3 entries into the table successfully. Now let's move on to lt underscore far. As you can see here, the lt underscore far is empty for now. In a single execution, it added with the 3 entries. Good, right? So this value and far has a lot of further applications. What I've shown you is a simple methodology or a simple syntax just to explain you the importance, or in other words, the advantage we benefit through this simple syntaxes. There are also other wide range of use cases on how this for and value can be used. We'll be discussing about that in our future classes. But for now, I just wanted you all to realize the advantages these simple syntaxes gives us and how much we can benefit from these simple syntaxes in optimizing the program and to ensure the program works efficiently. So that's it for today's session. So in the next session, I'll be again coming back with more interesting videos and concepts. Until then, thank you, take care, peace and blessings to all.